Hello, my name is Cletus and welcome to the clan. So without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, please smash me the like button, because guys, it triggers the YouTube algorithm to go and fetch us some more clan members. If you are new on this channel, welcome to the clan and you are now officially a member of the clan. I hope you brought your two IQs together to rub them so that we can spark some sensible opinions about what's going on in the North Gauteng High Court. So speaking of which, let's go to the North Gauteng High Court. Once again, I wish I had a lot to tell you, but if you were not watching today's proceedings, I seriously envy you. I envy you because Sibanda is seriously wasting taxpayers' money, officially wasting taxpayers' money, and the judge couldn't be bothered. And also Baloy, whom I thought in the morning did a very noble thing by saying, like, listen, there are some things that Ntanzi has denied, particularly involving his attendance of court in Northwest. And Ntanzi says, I never left the vehicle in Northwest and attended a case. Instead, a prosecutor will come to the vehicle. Even though at that time he did not know it was a prosecutor, but there was somebody that came, looked at him, and then went back inside. Now, how is it possible that Ntanzi will be in a vehicle and inside of court there is going to be another Ntanzi that is attending that court during Kovovo? So now how is that even possible? Unless Ntanzi can split himself into two, one part in the vehicle, the other part inside of court. So I was very happy when the suggestion was that all the courts that Ntanzi had attended in Northwest, those the court recordings should be submitted to this very trial so that they can disprove, or Ntanzi can prove, that he was never in attendance of any of these courts, because the recordings will tell. So I'm very happy with that, because we also closed on that note where Sibanda, I don't know if he was sitting on his ears when his boss was saying these submissions this morning. But anyways, guys, as I was busy watching, and no, in fact, actually it was after the adjournment, I get a call from somebody I know who says, hey, Clan, do you ever watch news? Because I know the last time you had resigned from watching news. I said, no, I still don't watch news. This is probably my third year now since the last time I sat down and watched the news. So I don't know what's going on in South Africa. I'm autopiloting blind spotted because the news is so depressing. And I was realizing that the more I was watching the news, the more angrier I became of a human being, and I hated that. I was like, you know what? The only thing that can actually give me the peace of mind is to quit Twitter, which is X today. I quit Twitter, and then I quit watching the news. So I don't know what news channel that is out there. I don't even bother myself. However, though, I get this call from this person that I know who says, hey, check out Newsroom Africa. They are doing a snippet of what transpired in court today. I am not comfortable with the angle that they are taking. Maybe I am overreacting. Please check it out and come back to me and let me know, what do you think about that reporting? Then I was like, okay, cool. Newsroom Africa went to YouTube, and then indeed there it was. It is a journalist. I think he sits inside of court and watches the proceedings. In fact, I think I've seen him in court. I'm not sure what his name is, but I think his surname is SBC, Omnisi, one of the two. And then he's sitting with this anchor in the Newsroom Africa newsroom, I suppose. And the headline is, Ntanzi contradicts his lawyer again. In my mind, I'm like, with everything that transpired in that court, you choose that Ntanzi contradicts his lawyer again. What about when Ntanzi asked about Mjiako? When Ntanzi was brought to the Boksburg Magistrates Court, he sees a man wearing a suit and saying, your sister asked me to come and represent you. And at that moment, none of the Ntanzis knew that Bongane was arrested. How did he know? Which sister was that? He asked Mjiako. But Newsroom Africa does not bring that one because you know why? I think it is not going to go according to their angle. Maybe saying that the witness on the stand right now is contradicting their lawyer is a sell point. I don't know. Maybe that's how they make their money and get their views. I am not sure. But it is a little bit sus. Now, what drove me up the wall is the interaction between the journalist and the anchor. Now, the way they were talking about Ntanzi, it was as if he was an idiot. Okay, fine. He might not be learned. He might come from a poor family. He might be the person that they probably think he is the killer. But one thing for sure about Ntanzi, he has shown integrity, honesty, and intelligence. Something that they will not report on because he is steadfast on his experience of what transpired between the 16th of June when he got arrested all the way to this point. Very clear on that one. And he's overpowering Sibanda with those truths. That is why Sibanda is finding himself getting choked. He's having hiccups. There was even a 5-minute adjournment because Sibanda was having hiccups. Okay, of course, figuratively, I don't mean it literally. Why? Because Ntanzi, he is steadfast with his truth. That is why Sibanda keeps circulating like a falconer around Ntanzi, hoping that he slips up and then use that. That is why he realized that the angle of saying that he's contradicting his own lawyer is probably the selling point, even for the prosecution or the state. But the fact of the matter is that the state put on the table a 28 tattoo on his shoulder. The state also put on the table that he had dreadlocks. The state also put on the table that he had a gold tooth. Where are they? Wouldn't those be the deciding factor that shows that you do not even have a case when it comes to the trial within a trial? You cannot discredit the legitimacy of Ntanzi's testimony. What is illegitimate there is what they are there for, those alleged confessions. They were obtained illegally. They do not meet the requirements of freely, voluntary, and with undue influence. But we're having news stations like this that are saying things. The part that actually that drove me up the wall, I forgot to mention. Let's play the clip. Let me play the clip. And then we'll come back and we'll talk about this.
So I mean, effectively, it sounds like, from what you've said and what Bongani Ntanzi has now told the court, that he has given credence then to his confession statement, that it is actually legitimate.
Somewhat, well, a bit to that effect. Because if you look at the other elements, particularly around his disputed lawyer, Ntokozo Mjiako, who was also allegedly in that particular room, he said he did not understand why he was there. He even asked him when they were still outside the room, who brought you here? Who told you that I was here? He allowed him to go into the room under the impression that he had been sent by his family members to observe the process. But how the state is now rebutting that is that the investigating officer said he was called the day before the confession statement was made and was informed that your lawyer was present and was consulting with you. This is a day before, and he had gone to the police station where the lawyer gave him a document that said that he was representing you. So the whole issue around the lawyer not being there is in fact not true. So, it then speaks to
it's difficult to keep up, huh?
Yeah, whether or not this lawyer was there. And if the lawyer was there, then it would mean that this is a person who was representing him and was acting on his best interest. But now he's disputing that he was there to represent him or was even appointed by him.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that the clip was a little bit long. It's about a minute long, but I wanted you to see the behavior, the attitude, the demeanor of these two individuals who are supposed to be professionals. They are laughing. They are laughing at a man who is in distress of a crime he did not commit. And they are making a mockery of him. So what if things are lost in translation in some other instances? As if they themselves, they never had a situation where they were lost in translation. To hear the anchor say that Ntanzi basically admits that these confessions are legit. Based on what, ma'am? Based on what? No, there's something absolutely wrong. This is the reason why I no longer watch the news, because I feel that the journalists, even though I still believe in the power of the media, especially when it comes to being watchdogs of democracy, I support that 100%. But it looks like we are losing ourselves once again. Remember how the media lost itself around 2009 to about 2016 and beyond that? They lost themselves. It looks like they are going back to that. I am very, very disappointed, I must say, in the Newsroom Africa. I don't watch them. In fact, for me, it's the first time that I'm seeing them. Now, the question that Ntanzi kept asking over and over and over again when Sibanda kept going around this Mjiako person is, who is Mjiako? Why this Mjiako never provided the phone number of Ntanzi's relative that hired him? Let's see the consultations. Let's see the payments. Let's see everything. It's not enough that he showed that piece of paper that says, yeah, he is a lawyer. So what? What matters is that as a lawyer, you should be doing your duty. You were coughing your cell phone in a so-called confession. I believe what Cronje was busy doing when she was typing, it was not that she was just typing whatever it is that she was typing and getting up and going to her boss. Yes, it is new evidence that the boss who is in charge probably of the East Rand Magistrates Courts was outside at the corridor, and Cronje would get up and go to her for whatever reason we don't know. I suspect that whatever it is that she was busy typing in the laptop, it was for her own safety, but the paper that she held in her hand is already written confession that came with whomever that brought in Ntanzi there. That is my belief. That is why I feel like if there is a credible and honest investigative journalist, I know there are a lot of great investigative journalists in this country. If they can look closer at the link between all these witnesses that took the stand in the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, both the main as well as the trial within a trial, and try and link these people to Gininda and find out what exactly does Gininda have on them. Because there is definitely something he has on them. The interpreter, Cronje, as well as, I think it's Mrs. Duplessis, the one that is in charge of magistrates courts in the East Rand. They need to investigate these people, because there is no way that more innocent South Africans are going to be subjected to what Ntanzi and Sibiya have been subjected to. No way. Please, if you're an investigative journalist and you watch this channel, please, I beg, look into these people. Something is not right. The other thing that I also noticed about today, remember when we closed yesterday, Judge Rata made an order about a page 5 that was missing. Okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the state may have made copies and submitted them to the defense, but nobody touched on that this morning, because I thought that page 5 was going to be something that we were interested to hear, especially Ntanzi needed to hear. Maybe the paper or whatever is written on that, the content of the paper is not anything to go by. Maybe that's why they did not say anything. Maybe it's going to be taken to argument. I do not know why it was not presented. It would have been nice if Sibanda told the court that page 5 has been copies have been made and submitted to the defense, but there's nothing that's been canvassed about it, so we move. I say that Magistrate Cronje needs to be recalled by the defense and cross-examined about several things that do not make sense to me, especially about Mjiako. I want to know, how do they all know each other? Because as Ntanzi says that Mjiako was present in room 2, but he was on his phone, and then Cronje was busy writing and typing, but they were not communicating. No, not even once where they communicated with each other. And then we have the interpreter. Ma'am, I think you are a religious person from what I could tell. Is this what your religion is teaching you? To be dishonest, to smear horrible things on another woman's child. Imagine that if that was yours. Imagine. You know, I feel if there's anybody that can actually break out and tell the truth, it's the interpreter, because that's the spirit that she gave me. But why she's not developing a conscience is beyond me. Maybe at a later stage in her life, she might say, you know what, something is not sitting well in my conscience. I need to spit this out. I don't know. But you didn't give me, I don't know. Just do the right thing, ma'am. Please do the right thing. Now, speaking of the interpreter, Miss Mutlapeng, I think Miss Mutlapeng, or whatever her surname is, I apologize. Ndanzi tells you that he hasn't bathed since he's been arrested, and he would like to make a phone call to his family and his 3 children. What do? After all the crookedness that has taken place in room 2, you take that last piece of the statement and you lie to Ntanzi and say, because you asked for bathing items, please sign here. In good faith, thinking that indeed this is about to get the things that he requested for, and he signs. Kanti wena, you are fooling him to sign on the statement. Then he's taken away from you guys. Do you know what they subjected him into in order for them to obtain his initials? Ma'am developed a conscience. Imagine this was your child. Just imagine that. That's all I'm going to ask of you. You fooled this young man. You owe him. You owe him. Come forward. Tell the truth. Ndanzi maintains that after Boksburg, room 2 with Gronier, he was taken somewhere where he was once again beaten. And guess who was there? It was Gininda. Of course, Gininda was happy. He's getting everything that he wants out of violence and evilness. And now the only thing that's missing on the so-called confession is his initials. Once again, they tube him. And then, of course, after being tubed and beaten, of course, he's going to put down his initials. Anybody would do that. I said even myself, I would do it. The moment you slap me, I would have like, where's a pen? Pen, please. Give me a pen. Yeah, thanks. And then I will sign on whatever it is that I'm being accused of that I have no idea of. That's just how human beings are. We are always on survival mode, especially when we encounter danger. Dangerous people like Gininda and his ilk. The last thing that I also want to touch that Ndanzi kept saying as well on the stand is that if I was the one who wrote these statements, because I can read and write isiZulu, I would have written my own statement. And yet all these documents are in English. His constitutional rights to choose a language in which he needs to be communicated with, as well as made to read and understand, is taken away from him. Everything is in English. And we all know that English does get lost in translation. I admitted the other day as well that I think I do have a good command of the English language, but there are words that I still don't know what they mean. Even an English person in England, born and bred and grew up there, would not know English words as well. So now, what about a person who does not speak it at all? Doesn't read, doesn't speak it, doesn't understand it at all, and then you rob him of his language in all of these documents. As a matter of fact, this entire trial is supposed to be in his mother tongue. Back in the apartheid days, when you went to a court, it was in Afrikaans. Afrikaans. When is Vernac going to have its day in court where the proceedings are in Vernac of the person that is accused? That is why we are getting interpreters like Bo Jonas and all these people that are doing a crappy job. They are not doing any justice to the Zulu language when they interpret it from English into isiZulu. How is all this fair on Ndanzi, on Sibiya, on everybody that is accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa? No. There is no way that we always keep saying, oh, South Africa is still a long way to go. The Constitution is there. I know. No. I am sorry. But I'm very much disappointed in Newsroom Africa or whatever they are called. That stuff that they said and mocking Ntanzi. Shame on you. Anyways, guys, that is all that I want to say in this video because there's nothing to report, guys. There's nothing going on. Sibanda just keeps going around in circle. He's literally a hamster in the hamster wheel. That's all he's doing. And he's not striking what he thinks he wants to strike out of Ntanzi. He's failing. I'm very interested to see those court recordings of all these courts that Ntanzi had attended. And he says, I did not attend this one. I want to hear that. And I will not be surprised to hear that, oh no, we need to postpone the trial tomorrow. Let's have it on Monday because whatever court is having this issue or another. No, I don't. And that page 5 will still want to know what's in there. Anyways, guys, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you guys so very much. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know, what did you think about that reporting of that newsroom? Because to me, it's not sitting well. You are laughing at a person who is in distress of a crime they did not commit. Yeah, I said it. Anyways, also share this video far and wide, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.